Since the release of Gears of War in 2006, the series has been a flagship franchise for Microsoft, and the company considered it so important as to buy it from Epic to keep it going. A new studio dubbed the Coalition was restructured to develop Gears of War 4, which adequately kept the train running, but ultimately felt underwhelming. The latest title, Gears 5, has some technical issues, but the solid multiplayer and an improved campaign serve to elevate the series.
Okay, let's go.
Though there are a few new features to multiplayer, the most interesting and needed changes come in the campaign. The story picks up after the events of Gears of War 4, with you taking up the roles of JD and Kate. The campaign follows Kate's journey to uncover the truth behind her family's past and the ever-growing threat of the Swarm. The game makes a conscious effort to make the cast more engaging and likable this time around. Characters' motivations feel more natural and fleshed out compared to previous installments, and they see actual growth and development throughout the story.
Gonna check up here.
Shit! Kate! Snipers up top!
Alright, we cleared that. How do we deal with the gate?
The biggest change comes with the campaign structure. Traditionally, Gears campaigns have been straightforward and linear, which is still true for 2 out of the 4 acts, but the other 2 are presented in a more open fashion, where you can freely explore a large area at your leisure. There are also side areas you can visit at any time, like an abandoned mine and a ruined train tunnel, to get rewards like upgrades for your robotic sidekick Jack. These are enjoyable to do and sometimes introduce small tweaks to change up the gameplay, like having you escort Jack or battling across ice. Overall, the cover-based shooting remains largely the same. Ducking in and out of cover and raining down gunfire on your foes is still as satisfying as ever, and the weapons are a blast to use. But your new robot friend, Jack, provides benefits in combat, like being able to flash the enemy to bring them out of cover, or emit a pulse to reveal enemy locations around you. You can also find components scattered about that unlock enhancements for Jack, like improving his zapper or increasing the range of his flash. Using him while playing solo is easy enough, but if you're playing co-op or Horde mode, a player can take control of Jack. Jack plays very differently from the cog soldiers you're used to and fills more of a support role. It's an interesting change of pace that feels very different and can be rewarding in its own way. However, after a while, you'll most likely want to switch back to a cog soldier since the gunplay is so enjoyable. Once again, multiplayer plays a huge role, and it's divided into 3 different modes: Versus, Escape, and Horde. Versus is the classic multiplayer suite with basic modes like Team Deathmatch and Arms Race, where your weapon changes as your team gets kills. If you want to get in some practice rounds, you can also team up with other players to take on enemy AI. Ranked playlists include some additional competitive modes like King of the Hill, and you can create custom games to join up with private groups. Escape is a brand new 3-player cooperative mode that drops you into a hive where you set a bomb and battle enemies while trying to evacuate. Each character tied to this mode has their own unique ultimate skill and passive effect. For example, Mac's ultimate creates a barrier that shields him from gunfire, while this passive effect slowly builds up his ultimate as he takes damage. You can also unlock new perks by leveling up characters. In this mode, teamwork is heavily encouraged as supplies are low, and coordinating the timing among players' skills can make the difference between victory and defeat. There's also a map editor that's currently in beta that you can use to create your own escape maps, which you can share online for others to play. The map editing tools themselves feel very basic, but it's still nice to have the option. Overall, Escape is a decent addition to the Gears catalog. It can feel really rewarding when you and your teammates are on the same page, but after a while, it definitely starts to feel repetitive.
Bomb planted! Time to go!
Horde mode returns and once again continues to be one of the most enjoyable aspects of Gears. It strikes a nice balance of teamwork and frantic action as your team tries to survive 50 waves of ever-increasing difficulty. By spending points you get from damaging and killing enemies, you can use supply crates to purchase items like spike strips, or you can boost specific stats like increasing damage. Completing objectives in any of the multiplayer modes earns in-game currency that you can spend to unlock new item cards for skins, skills, and banners. Rarer cards can be earned by increasing the difficulty of some of the modes, which is a nice incentive to take on those challenges. There's also an in-game shop where you can spend real money to get additional vanity items or XP boosts, if you're interested.
Incoming flash!
Gears 5 offers mouse and keyboard support for the Xbox One and has crossplay with PC. This is great since it keeps the community together, but be aware that if you want to use a controller, you may be at a disadvantage against mouse and keyboard players. If you prefer, there is an option for Xbox players to turn off crossplay for ranked matches.
I'll take care of this one.
While Gears 5 looks great visually, it does have some technical issues. During the campaign, we experienced multiple crashes at pivotal moments in the story, enemies randomly becoming idle and non-hostile, and infinite loading screens. The most humorous instance saw our character glitch out of a vehicle and land amongst a group of Swarm, whose bullets went right through us. This then culminated with us falling through the ground. Gears has had its ups and downs, and thankfully, Gears 5 does a good job of lifting the series back up. Its improved focus on characters and more open areas really helps to strengthen the campaign, and the multiplayer offers the same over-the-top action you've come to expect. It won't likely bring in many new converts, but if you're a fan who's felt alienated by more recent entries, Gears 5 is a great place to jump back in.
Lay down your weapons. Take him out. Dead.
JD, your Condor's close. What do you need?
Easy Allies reviews are made possible by generous viewers just like you. If you like what you see, check out patreon.com/easyallies to help us make more. For just $1 a month, you can gain access to weekly updates, spoiler discussions, and exclusive shows.
Baird, confirmed. Zero burial site is active.